Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, we are continuing to work on our rocket. The trouble I was running into is I was trying to run like 6 buttons into these guys, and they weren't working. So for the XYZ controller, I ended up having to add additional rockets just for that. So we have rockets just to control the nose when we're launching, and then we have the 3 body rockets, which will control our XY when we're in space, and then we have our main rockets, which will control our Y this way. I should say our X and our Z while we're in space. So keeping all that in mind, and the fact that the pilot seat was installed backwards, I'm not too sure, but I don't know if that engineer still works for us now, but we'll find out. So having all that in mind, it just took a little bit to sort of calibrate it. But we're pretty well calibrated now. So essentially how it works is, it saves our current position. And then quite simply, it is the value larger or smaller? Is it larger or smaller? And then that turns on and off quite simply. And then what I did is I added in addition 2 buttons. So one button allows us to mark the X, Y, and Z, and then one button activates it. So the idea is that we're in space, we slow down, we slow down, we slow down, and then when we're slow enough, we can mark a position, and then activate that position. And then what the rocket will try and do, and this is what we have to figure out and try and calibrate, is it will try and move into that position wherever it is. So I don't know if we can do this in like a low atmosphere setting, but we could try. So it's almost ready. So now what I was trying to do is I was trying to calibrate our rotation, our Euler angle. So what that is essentially is when you're have a body that rotates, and then you're rotating off of that rotation, that's called a Euler angle, quite simply. So if I'm traveling this direction, and I'm rotating this way, and then I want to rotate this way, I can get the angles to know that I'm rotating backwards and this way while I'm traveling this way. It only really matters when we're trying to slow down in space and stop. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do that. This was out just a little bit, so what I wanted to do was try and recalibrate this. Was out just a little bit, and then the starting angle. So the starting angle is to the top of the thing, and I just don't know if that's like, I don't know. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what we did in the shuttle, and we're gonna be able to mark that position. So on the on draw here, what we're going to say is, so we need some more inputs. Before we do anything, we need some more inputs. So what we need to do is we need to add another panel, a composite panel, and this is going to be save angle panel in. Okay, and what that's going to do is we're going to have 4 inputs. I wonder if it's for me. It's a little bit easier this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to split it and then merge. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I don't know why. It's just easier for me to see the circuit this way and make decisions based on that than it is to kind of just run the composite in and then program it. So this is what we want to do, and then the angles come in 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now what we've done is we've created 4 more buttons. So we just need to say A, B, C, and D equals input dot get bool 1, just like that. Two, oops, 3, and then 4. Just like that, A, B, C, and D. And then now what we can do is we can say if A, then we can take this line. We can say set the color of the screen. And that's it. So now for the color, we want I don't know, let's set this one to coral. It's going to be blue. If we think about it in that very basic Stormworks sense, blue. Cool. Then we'll update that. So now what we need to do in the rocket is we need to install a panel, which is going to allow us to mark our angles of rotation. So we have a panel. Now it has to be a flip switch or a button. I like the flip switch. One, two, three, four, and then what we need to do is some of this, and we want to take that composite and we're going to bring that into our panel. Cool. So that should work. Let's save it. Oh, I need to put another end in there. The end of that function. It really is that simple. We input an on-off signal to the code, and then while that signal is on, the code does something, and when the signal is off, the code does something else. It's really simple. So that's all those ways we can do it. So then when we mark it, oh, I turned the whole screen cayenne. All right, so we turn the nose thrusters on, and turn the secondary pumps on, and then activate the nose control from the seat. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to save. Okay, so we have to do something a little tricky here. Okay, so we need to put this in a different code block. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to output. Here's what we're gonna do. We need to say we need to output these x and y values. So we need to say output. Now is that, how do we write that? Output set number, just like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then these are the index is our channel. Alright, this is the easiest way to handle this. And then this value will be x1. This will be y1. This will be x2. I mean, we could create a folder, and we can save the values, and we can recall them later on. is probably the easiest way to do it. So then what we do is we output that number. So then we'll take this bit of code and we'll copy it. Now, what we need is a composite. We need to read these numbers. 1, 2. Holy moly. Alright, so that is our rotation. So now that we have those values, we need another Lua block. And we need to say, we need to take those. No, we need a right number. Expand that to 6 channels. So we're just passing it through, right? I suppose we could just go to, you know, into this other and then out. I guess we could do that too, actually. Instead of splitting it like this and merging it, yeah, let's do that instead. So in the second block on the on-draw, we need that. Alright. And then what we need is set these up. So this will be like A. I guess I have to edit them, right? You can get this copy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so now we've got those numbers in one from one code. And now we're using them in another, but these are sets, right? These are, so what we could say, this is X1 and this is Y1. And this is X2 and this is Y2. This is X3 and this is Y3. We're passing it through. So now that we've got that number, now we're able to draw it on here. And A would be the bool. So what we then need to do is we need to say input A equals input get bool channel 1. So we're going to copy this. Now that we have more lines of code, we can do bigger things. Okay. So now that we have that, it's simple. We need to take these inputs. Ooh, I wonder. I actually think we'll have to do this. Because these inputs are going to activate on this block, not on this block. You see how that works? So then what we need to do is we have to get rid of this in here. Alright, let's see if it works. Oh, there's no electricity to the panel. That's odd. That's odd. Maybe it was going to work originally, but there was no power. So it just changed the color of the screen. Alright. Oh, because it's constantly outputting. It's so silly. It's constantly outputting those numbers. So we're going to be getting a constant number, which isn't what we want. We want to save those numbers. So what we then need is, I guess we did need to separate them and merge them. Yeah. We'll save them this way instead of saving them in the code. Alright, so this is going to go like this. And instead of outputting that, we don't want to output anything through here, so that way we don't mess it up. And then these so now what we need to do is quite confusing. We need a second panel. Otherwise we have to flip each switch twice, which sucks. We only want to do that once. So we need another panel. This will be save X and Y. Panel in, okay, and then so that comes in like this. It has 4 channels. These are just push buttons. Now we could instead of so we're not outputting anything anymore, so we don't need that to go through there, just the video. So what am I thinking here? I guess it's if we want to save the rotation, we can just simply mark the rotation with this. X, Y, and Z, and then I don't know what we're going to do with channel 4. We don't technically need this here, is what I'm getting at. Alright, so if we eliminate this, and we eliminate that, because we're already saving the number, so we don't need that. And we don't need this. This will print a completely different, there we go, line. It'll print whatever line you saved. Ha, that's even better. That's even better. Perfect. So then what we need to do is we just need to do that. X, Y, and Z. And this was our save angle panel in. So we'll save, update this, and then we'll delete the panel we just installed. Restart the music. Whew. And it's this one here. Oh, I see. That was the panel. That was the panel. Alright. That goes into the save angle panel. Oh boy. Yes, there we go. Okay, so now button 1. So this could be you know what? Yeah, you know what? Here, let's do this. Let's make this a indicator, channel 4, and then what we're gonna do is this will be cool. We are going to add an output here. I know, make things more complicated. Output, and then we're gonna take it and we're gonna say let's see, one single channel, and it could be channel 4. Oops, no, we can have one channel, it can be channel 4. Alright, and then we need a couple of these ors. So this one, or this one, or this one here. Now we can put another or, oh no, because we're deleting that. This one here is deleted. It's the indicator. Alright, update that. Okay, let's output that to there. So 1 is going to be mark X angle. 2 Y angle, 3 mark Z angle. Perfect. And our indicator, let's make it yellow. Oh, these need to be push buttons. Yeah, button. Perfect. Now, what we didn't do was change the color. Oh, we did. I think it just set it to something. The same color. Alright, that can work. See what it does. It should only change the line. It shouldn't change. So we'll have a cayenne line over top of, or a coral line, I should say. Oh, look at that. Probably because it's at 0. Huh. Huh, what happened there? What happened? Oh, there's no input. That's why. That's why. Alright. Now that it's all connected, it's almost ready to launch again. It's just, you know, until all the systems are ready to test, there's no point in launching. up with that first one there. What's going on? What is going on? We'll get rid of this here. This doesn't need to be here. Oh, I see what's going on here. This needs to be screen number 2. Yeah. Oh, the copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. There we go. Now everything is in alignment. Should be in alignment. Then what I'll do is I'll change the colors to red, green, and blue, and that way we know which angles they are, and we can reference those angles to the world angles, X, Y, and Z. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see, what did I do wrong? I got rid of the outputs, didn't I? I did. I got rid of the outputs. Because we didn't need them. We didn't need them, remember? X2, Y2, X3, and Y3. All right. Yeah, it's going to matter if we can get this thing to stay in space and dock with it or launch small craft from it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, now something's out with the second alignment here. What's going on? Outputting, I know that. Oh, that's why. Oh, silly me. Help if I sorted the channels out. There we go. Because there's 0, 0, 0 at the beginning. So now that we've marked the angle, we should be able to fall over. And we should be able to see that I'm falling over. Yeah, hey, there we go. Okay, So now that we can see that we're falling over, now what we want to do is we want to change the colors of those angles. So the first one we'll do is, let's see. So that's going to be X, that's going to be Y, that's going to be Z. So what we need is red, which I think is 5, 5, 0, 0. And this one here is 0, 0, 2, 5, 5. And this one here is 2, 5, 5, 0, 0. Now, when we mark them, we can just have a generic color for that. Ooh, where's that hot pink? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now probably what I'm going to do on the screen is the same thing I did on the other screen, is I'll just add some text underneath it. So like the EUY, EUX, EUZ. Yeah, see they're at, we just need to mark them. There we go. So that's that. So then if we launch into space, we'll be able to see when we're rotating on our axes. So clever and exciting. I know, it's so clever and exciting, right? So there, you know, we can make little degree lines in there, and yeah, we get pretty fancy. We get pretty fancy. Let's see what else we can do here. Underneath here, we can add some text. Let's do that. Add some text. So this could be, if it's 32, and that's 16. So this is going to be kind of like off center. So we could try 10 as a good offset. So we're offsetting it by 6, and then we'll set it like we could set this to 40. That would probably work. 40Y for all of them. So instead of this would be 42, and this would be 76. We're offsetting by 6. All right. And then the text we want to put in quotes. Or else it'll think we're trying to get a property. But they should put the quotes in there for the copy paste. But anyways, that's for them. EUX, EUY, EUZ. What is that? 48E. It's gonna have to be like 8, 40, and 74. Let's try that. Oh, what I wanted to do was change the color of the text. Just changing it to white, so it's nice and bright on the background. Now there we go. Now that can go up. That can go up quite a bit. this is 40, we could try 35. And it to be a 3 pixel. 3 pixel, let's do 34 instead. 2 pixel gap. Alright. Cool. So we've done a little bit of code. We've added some cool buttons. We've connected those buttons to some lights. We've added some cool lights. We've added some cameras. I mean, you know. Not much else, really. We're pretty much ready to kind of launch. And I guess the last thing we could do on the bottom here, we could add a theoretical distance. You know, the Earth being here, the Moon being here, and then wherever we are in between that. That would be the last kind of. That's what I'm gonna do here. Just to sort of give us kind of an orientation, and then we'll try and do like, you know, kind of a weird thing. We'll see what we can do with it. Yeah, just to try and get an orientation, or it's gonna be. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out because we need one from like the top down, right? A circle representing the Earth, and then a black dot where we are, or a white dot, and then wherever we are in alignment are X and Y. I'd like to do something like that. I think would be cool. Because when the rescue missions spawn, right, they're within this searchable range. Even though we go to space and we could be way out here, they're still within this kind of searchable range. So that's why I still think it would be, you know, we could mark that position, and then we can try and, as part of trying to figure out how to complete these space missions, perhaps that's a way to get that done. But yeah, so that's something I will figure out in the next one. I think at this point in time, we'll end this with a launch here. Let's test it out. Let's see. So body thrusters, we won't need. I guess we can turn them on, no? Main thrusters, 1. Gas is on. Now we need to activate the nose control. And that's it. I think we can just launch. Yeah, now this will probably turn down. There, you can see on the camera where we're launching from. Just so cool. Yeah, that seems to be a bit softer. Cool. It's coming along. It's coming along. Right, and then once we get these basic systems, and we're able to test it, and they do what we want, ideally we can scale this thing up. And I'd like to do that. Add some rooms to it, add a launch vehicle to it. So from here we could launch to space, and then from here we could launch to the rescue mission, wherever that could be. I think that would be cool in a little RCS vehicle, right? A little air-powered vehicle. We could do. It's not heavy, like the aircraft is heavy, that's why the air didn't work, but if we make it small and light, it would work. Now, these things make sense to me. This kind of doesn't make sense to me. because we're not, you know, in theory, green should be us tumbling, rotating, completely rotating around the rocket. Saying that we've rotated that much, so I'm not sure what Euler or why it's doing that. Right, and then I need to add, you know, the survival system. So we're almost getting there. Like I say, the rocket is built, the controls are built. We have the data, and now we're just sort of testing the X, Y, Z stuff and to see if that's, you know, what that's all about. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Look, we've got the screens, there's numbers, they're doing stuff, right? We've got buttons going on, or lights flashing here. We've got lights flashing here. You know, I just think it's what a cool, unique experience we're able to create for ourselves on a Sunday. That's going to do it again. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. As you can see, we're coming along here. That will be the next part, testing our position hold in space. What do we have for video? Yeah, 45 minutes. Yeah, we should probably. What's my altitude? Altitude. No idea. Don't actually have that one. Oh, here, yeah. Don't actually have the, what is it, taking up? Okay, I guess I can't get, I should have put an altimeter in here. So you see, so we still need a few more things, right? That is technically my Y position meter. So I guess we're close to space. Look at how much fuel we burned. We could probably cut that. Oh yeah, like we slowed down so much. We're kind of in the low orbit. I don't even think we're in space yet, really. Yeah, there we go. There's no lights. I have to turn my flashlight on in the rocket. Oh, and the parachutes aren't connected yet either. Oh, yeah, there we go. We hit space. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we use a fair amount of fuel. We're still ascending. As you can see, we haven't moved off the X and the Y yet. This is cool. Being able to see the Earth as we move away from it, that's cool. Yeah, these should be all like lit up. They should have backlights, and I need light in here, and there's just a few more things that need to be done. But so what we can do is we can say, let's see, if we, this will slow us down a little bit. It should. Oh yeah, big time. So now what we need to do is we need to mark our X, Y, and Z position, and then we activate it. what's going on. Look at how fast it's throwing me out. Holy moly. So that I need to figure out. Look at our angular speed. It just threw me sideways. Well, well, 5 activates too. 5 and 6 are the same button. Interesting. Well, we could do that. That just slows down. Maybe we just need to do that. And then if I just measure my tilt, that might actually work. You see we're slowing down. Essentially, that's kind of the idea. Now what I need is a something for the body. So I can activate the body thrusters to slow down that angular rotation. Cool, that's cool. That's gonna kind of do it. I'm just gonna load it back into the autosave, and I think we'll do another launch on another day and test it out again. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome, and I hope to see you all in the next one.